Many thanks. That was Tom and Neil McDermott, folks, playing us in aboard the virtual Glen Lee here on the bonny banks of the Clyde in Glasgow. And we welcome you all from all your, wherever you are. I believe we have people from Spain and Ireland already, USA,
Massachusetts.
Greenfield, welcome. Sorry, Harry?
Massachusetts.
yes,
Greenfield, Massachusetts.
Yeah, very good. And Morecambe Bay, why not? My name's Tom Malone. I'm going to be one of your MCs for tonight. The other one is someone hopefully you can also see on your screen, Harry Campbell, the inestimable Harry Campbell. We'll be joined shortly by the unstoppable Martin Graham, and together we will be presenting the huge lineup of talent that is the Glasgow Shanty Night here from Glasgow. We've got a fantastic lineup for you. We have the beautiful harmonies of Kimber's Men and Muldoon's Picnic. We have the rollicking great songs of John and Colin and Steve of together make up Monkey's Fist, and all the way from the far corners of Britain on Southend-on-Sea, we'll have the Silver Darlings. They're one to look forward to. We'll be having them later on in the evening. We also have our whole, not just singing and music, but we have poems from Jim Savile. We have stories from Dan Serridge, and Dan is on tenterhooks tonight because his wife is expecting their first child very soon. So we'll be wondering what kind of story he comes up with tonight. Anyway, what we want to do is to hear from you as much as possible. Use that chat window. We are now live also on YouTube, so welcome all YouTubers. Make your comments in the usual place, either the chat window or the comment window on YouTube, and let us know where you are and what you're thinking about the whole show during the night. Just one thing I would ask you to do is to keep yourself muted and until perhaps at the end of each song, and you can allow our performers a little glow of satisfaction of a job well done by a small applause, if you'll do that. But getting on very quickly, it wouldn't have been a Zoom meeting without a few hitches, and we had those at the start. Hopefully not too many of you picked those up and you're just arriving. So welcome all, one and all. And we are going to continue the show. Yes, Harry?
Sorry, just before that, should we do a couple of housekeeping things?
Yes, indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, Tom, just before you move on. Thank you for keeping muted, as Tom said, but feel very free to unmute between the songs. If you wish, you may want to switch off your video, especially if you're going to be away from your seat. We are now streaming live on YouTube after a small hold up. Sorry for that. Hello, YouTube. Oh, well, we can't hear them, but they can comment. So they are sending in their comments as well. And if I get enough time, I'll try and share those comments across into this meeting. If you don't wish to be recorded, because that will end up as a recording on YouTube that you'll be able to watch in the future. So if you don't want to appear on that, you might want to turn off your screen on the Zoom meeting. Hello. Hello, did someone speak?
Nope.
Okay, right. I think that's all I need to say, isn't it, Tom, at this stage?
Yes, I think so.
Back to you.
It sounded like YouTube was echoing a little.
Ah, right. How dare it? So, folks, we carry on the evening in the wonderful company of Russ Clare. We've been saying that we've got people from all over. Well, Russ is from all over. Starting life in what they call God's own country, he decided that he wanted a better place and came to Scotland. So Russ has been living here in Scotland for quite a while, but you wouldn't notice from his accent, which you'll hear shortly. Take it away, Russ.
Thank you, Tom. Hello to all those virtual tall ships out there, moored to 100 or more routers. The first song tonight has a rousing tall ships chorus for you to sing. By the way, I'll be running all my items together to keep on schedule. And I've discovered that if the organiser tells you to, you've got a certain amount of time and not to overrun, the best thing to do is to drink 2 pints of water about half an hour before you're due to start. And I've just noticed my video feed has frozen up, so you'll have a solid image of me. Anyway, we'll see how we get on with that. Here we go. From Boston Harbour we set sail. It was a blowing a devil of a gale, with our ring sail set all about the mizzen peak, and our roll Britannia blowing up the deeper with me big bow wow. Tow row row, foldy roldy ride o day. Then up comes the captain from down below, and it's look aloft and look below, and it's look below and look aloft, and coil up your ropes, boys, fore and aft, with me big bow wow. Tow row row, foldy roldy ride o day. Then down to his cabin he quickly crawls, and to his poor old steward he bawls, "Go fix me a glass that'll make me laugh, for it's better weather here than it is on top, with me big bow wow. Tow row row, foldy roldy ride o day." And if there's one thing that we do crave, it's that our captain meets with a watery grave. We will throw him down into some dark hole, where the sharks can have his body and the devil take his soul. Big finish with me big bow wow. Tow row row, foldy roldy ride o day. False alarm with me big bow wow. Tow row row, foldy roldy ride o day. A true story in spoken word and song. Imagine, if you will, a stormy winter's day at sea. 14th of February 1760. A leaky old ship that's seen better days after 96 years of continuous service is sailing to Plymouth after line duty, blocking the French ports. It's the Ramelise, with around 760 on board. As the storm builds, there's a poor sighting. It's thought to be Plymouth Sound, and the order is given to run for shelter. But it's a mistake, and the ship is driven onto the rocks at Hope Cove. 734 souls were crushed to death or drowned. Just 26, by luck or good judgment, saved themselves by scrambling onto the rocks and climbing out of danger. Among them was young midshipman William Faulkner, born into abject poverty in Leith. His 11 siblings were all deaf and dumb and spent their entire lives in the workhouse. William alone, with faculties intact, prospered by going to sea. That February day wasn't a great start for a naval career. But through ability and patronage, he rose through the ranks, being shipwrecked again on the way. He spent time ashore in London, where he wrote the first English language dictionary of seamanship. Then, in 1769, he was appointed as a secretary to the burgeoning East India Company. The Aurora, his ship to India, was sighted in December rounding the Cape of Good Hope. But it was never seen again. William Faulkner. The sea had him in the end. This is the loss of the Ramelise. It was on one certain day, that the Ramelise at her anchor lay. That very night a storm come on, and our ship from her anchor it away did run. The rain came down in terrible drops, the sea broke over our foretops, our yardarm timbers neatly spread. We was thinking to weather the old Ramshead. Our boatswain cried, "Come, my good fellows all, listen unto me while I blow my call. Launch out your boats, your lives for to save, for the sea this night will prove a grave." So overboard our boats we tossed, some got in but soon were lost. There were some in one place, some in another, and the watch down below, they were all smothered. When this sadden news to Plymouth came, that the Ramelise was lost, and all of her men, excepting two that told this tale, ere that ship behaved in that dreadful gale. Come all ye pretty maidens, and weep along with me, for the loss of your true loves and the Ramelise. All Plymouth town it flowed with tears, when the news was heard of that sad affair. Now, sad tale. This is another sad tale, really, but with a happy ending. Mermaid songs, they crop up quite a lot in sailors' songs, but it wasn't until I came across this song that I learned that mermaids are actually around in the Great Lakes region of North America. Very strange. Oh, the Mermaid of Ontario had a long green stringy hairy-o, and a seaweed gown to wear-o, but she hadn't no one to marry-o. Now the Mermaid of Ontario loved a big-mouthed bass named Larry-o, who lived neath a lake St. Clary-o, under the St. Clair Ferry-o. Now the Mermaid of Ontario sent a seagull emissary-o to ask that big bouse Larry-o if he'd consent to marry-o. Oh, no, 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 said Larry-o, my life I will not share-o. I'd rather play solitaire-o, sit around in me underwear-o, read books from the fish library-o. You are so ordinary-o, I am extraordinary-o, and I dress so debonair-o, and I have a fine vocabulary-o, 'cause I memorize the fish dictionary-o. And before I'd marry you, I'd marry-o a Guernsey cow from the dairy-o, or I'd eat a poison berry-o, end up with fish dysentery-o. The poor Mermaid of Ontario, it was too much to bear-o, so she cried all day, then swam away with a yoppy little guppy named Gary-o. Now they're a happy pair-o, 'cause he's a millionaire-o. On his yacht neath a lake St. Clary-o, they cuddle in a cosy chair-o, and listen to his underwater stereo. And that big mouth bass named Larry-o married a cow from the dairy-o, and she fed him a poison berry-o, wound up in the fish cemetery-o. And that's the whole scenario. There you go. That's it from me. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Great lineup. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Fantastic, Russ. Great stuff. And very apt, because we actually have somebody or some people from the shores of Lake Erie in again in America. We've got people from Preston and Liverpool, New York. Never knew there was such a thing. And the Wirral and the People's Republic of Kent. Hello there. Hope you're enjoying the show. Though we're carrying on there without any, we're just going to rattle through these because we've got such a packed program tonight. We need to get these acts coming thick and fast. And the next one up here in Glasgow, we could say that these people don't need any introduction because they're so well known. It's made up of members of the band who almost all of them have choir connections, leading choirs, but together they have the most marvelous balance of harmonies and musicality. So I'll pass you on to Muldoon's Picnic.
Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below. Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below. Well, I wish I was in Mobile Bay, screwing cotton all the day, but I'm stowing sugar in the hole below. Below, below, below. Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below. Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below.
Well, the Jam White, she's a new boat, stem to stern, she's mighty fine. Beats any boat on the New Orleans line, stowing sugar in the hole below.
Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below. Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below.
Now the engineer through the trumpet gives the fireman news. Couldn't make steam for the fire in the flue, stowing sugar in the hole below.
Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below. Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below.
Captain's on the boiler deck, scratching off his head. Hollers to the deckhand to heat the lead, stowing sugar in the hole below.
Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below. Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below. Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below. Hey ho, below, below, stowing sugar in the hole below.
Thank you very much. I heard a faint applause there. Well, That was, of course, So and Sugar and the Whole Blow. Oh, look, who do we have there on stream but Moira? Good evening, Moira. Yes, we are going to press through these songs. We also have plenty of songs for you. This is Muldoon's Picnic. We're going to use a variety of methods to overcome the current difficult circumstances, as we had to back in June at the Oban Shanty Festival. And one of them is to play you a video from this time last year at the Clyde Built Festival, the Shanty night, which was on board the tall ship Glenlee. And we sang a song which is not a traditional song, but it's from the great Stan Rogers, arranged by us, or by Katie, I think, the Northwest Passage. And Katie's going to play it for us now, I hope.
First I've heard of it.
Who did you think was going to play it?
I don't know. Nobody asked me to do that.
Well, that was the plan, but right. Do you not have it there?
I hadn't realised I was supposed to be playing it, Harry. I'm so sorry. I'm playing everything else, I know, but
Shall we play another one and then we can come back to that?
Okay. Do you have it there, Katie?
no.
Will you be able to find it? No. All right. Tom, do you have? No. Okay. I would play it, but I don't think my setup would stand for it. Okay, let's move on. Let's not play that. Just imagine how amazing it would have been if you could have joined us this year on the tall ship Glenlee. It was a lovely evening, again organised by Tom, and very visually attractive. But that will remain in your mind's eye. I'll hand over to Katie and tell us what she would like to play us.
I think it's Sheena, isn't it, who's going to introduce the next song, I believe.
How about a bit of Sally, Free and Easy? So I had to have a wee look about Sally, Free and Easy. I knew it was a modern shanty, relatively modern. It was written in the 1960s by Cyril Tawney. And it turns out that Cyril Tawney was in the submarine service during the Second World War. He wrote this song in the 1950s. It was about a girl called Sally, funnily enough, who was two-timing him. Who wouldn't want to be with a submariner? I don't know. It's been covered by many people, including the Corries, Pentangle, I'm sure Marianne Faithfull maybe as well, Bob Dylan, Joan Redburn, loads of folk.
Right, are we ready to go? Brilliant, here we go. I'm afraid one of the problems with this technology is that I couldn't find any solution to me just counting this in. So I'm going to count myself in, please excuse me. I wonder if any one of my colleagues could perhaps tell me if the balance is off, because as you know, Zoom is a little bit unpredictable in these ways. So here we go. I should also say I'm going to be joined by my my good friend Hannah here, who may join me at some point in the song. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, give me 2 ticks. I'm so sorry. Great, thank you. Here we go. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sally free and easy, that should be her name. Sally free and easy, that should be her name. Took a sailor's loving And then I'll take the tideway to my burying ground. Sally free and easy, that should be her name. Sally free and easy, that should be her name. When my body's landed, hope she dies of shame. Sally free and easy, Sally free and easy, Sally free and easy, Sally free and Fantastic, thank you everybody. It's quite strange not being able to see everybody in my view, but I presume everyone's still there. Thank you, Hannah. So we're going to carry on with a song written by a really good friend of ours, Stephen. I'm not sure is Stephen on at the moment. I can't actually see him, but I hope he is. So this is a song called Clyde Built. And I first heard Stephen singing this, I don't know when actually, I think probably at Celtic Connections at the House of Song. And I remember emailing him, Facebooking him actually, and asking him for the words. And I always meant to arrange it for us to sing. And I've finally done it. Lockdown has been one of those times when you can do this kind of thing. So thank you so much to Stephen for collaborating with us on this. And I'm going to share my screen and I hope that it works. Maybe someone could tell me if it doesn't. It could be 2 seconds. Trying to find my, where's it gone? Perhaps someone could tell a joke while I just locate the file. Sorry.
It was very difficult, of course, on the old sailing ships, especially, you know, in a high wind, when you just had a laptop and you got sort of salt water over it, and, you know, to find your way to the right file and share it with the other shantymen must have been very, very difficult for them.
I found it, I hope. Here we go. So thank you again to Stephen for doing this for us. Here we go.
Lay the spine as you lay a keel. Oh, the rise and the fall of the tide. Ribs and bones of Lanarkshire steel. All along the riverside, a handful of mud from the river bank. Oh, the rise and the fall of the tide, to make the muscle arm and flank. All along the riverside, when will we see the light again? Oh, the rise and the fall of the tide, Clyde bred women and Clyde built men, all along the riverside. Clyde bred women and the weeds. in the veins. All along the riverside, you ask me why the Clyde runs red. Oh, the rise and the fall of the tide, sweat and tears and blood they shed. All along the riverside, all along the riverside, when will we see their like again? Oh, the rise and the fall of the tide, Clyde bred women and Clyde built men, all along the riverside. When the last of them is laid in dust, oh, the rise and the fall of the tide, ashes to ashes, rust to rust. All along the riverside, they battle then, we fight now. Oh, the rise and the fall of the tide, the rise and fall of the tide. Will we buckle, will we bow? All along the riverside, all along the riverside, stand and let them not forget. Oh, the rise and the fall of the tide, the rise and fall of the tide. The red Clyde heart is beating yet. All along the riverside, all along the riverside, when will we see their like again? Oh, the rise and the fall of the tide, Clyde bred women and Clyde built men, all along the riverside. When will we see the like again? Oh, the rise and the fall of the tide, Clyde bred women and Clyde built men, all along the riverside.
It was wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, so now in a change to the program sequence of events, for technical reasons beyond our control, we are now going to bring you, after all, the song that I mentioned that was videoed last year aboard the tall ship Glen Lee, which my colleague, I hope, is now lining up. If this doesn't work by any chance, bear with us, but with any luck, it will, at least a bit. And if you are just watching, it may help us possibly if you turn off your video just for the duration of this song, perhaps, just to help with the bandwidth. I'm not sure. Anyway, you should be seeing now some miscreants on a stage, slightly different lineup from this year, and they are set. I think. Are we ready to go, Rory?
Yeah, let's give it a go. Are you seeing the screen?
Yep. The Northwest Passage. Bring it on.
Okay, here we go.
And Rogers.
We have sound.
Oh, for just one time, I will take the Northwest Passage to find the land of friendship.
There you go. Deafening applause there on the video. Slightly got off in its prime. Thank you, Rory, for sharing that at no notice at all. And now it's over to Daisy to introduce the next piece.
Yes, so we're going to do something a little bit different, and that's take you on a digital tour of Fingal's Cave on Staffa. It's an amazing place. It's inspired composers from Mendelssohn to Pink Floyd, and it's always been known for its kind of very dramatic cathedral-like structure and its amazing acoustic properties that are influenced by the wind and the water. Fingal's Cave has been called the Temple of the Western Main, the Aeolian Harp, and in Gaelic, help me with my pronunciation here, anybody, and Uavin, I think, which means the melodious cave. So we're going to share something highly digital with you. We've chosen a song called Plovi Barco to sing in the cave. It's a song from the Klapa a cappella region of Croatia, Dalmatian Croatia. And the words mean sailboat. In the boat is anchor, your eyes are as deep as the sea. And the song would sound as if it was in Fingal's Cave because the acoustic model is the same as well. And Harry says that I'm contractually obliged to mention that if you don't think that the song is shanty enough, it's in the key of C. And it's also about a girl called Anchor.
Anchor.
Okay, so just give me 1 second and I will share this with you.
Plovi barco dobo coiem more. Plovi barco dobo coiem more.
Well, I hope that worked. I should have said it's better on headphones, but it's a bit late now, so you can always visit our YouTube channel to have that again if you like, and have it in headphones.
Yes, I'll post the link to our channel in a moment if I get around to it. But just look for Muldoon's Picnic on YouTube, and you should find it, and maybe some other extraneous stuff. But you shouldn't easily confuse that video with anything else. I would think you'll find. Well, I think our time is rapidly coming to an end. So we thought we'd use a very, very high-tech procedure now. It's a scientific kind of a thing that's described as singing together. You know, we're going to do this without actually muting the mics. It'll be, you know, what can I say? As people say of the present crisis, it is what it is. And yes, we just need to start singing. It's very much a joy and Yini number, but before we start it, I'd like to say a huge thanks to Daisy for the work on that video, and to Katie for putting together the Clyde built thing, and to Stephen, whose video is off. He may or may not be hearing this, but Stephen Clark, among whose many excellent songs we find that song Clyde built. And of course to Tom for having us on. I don't think he was having us on. I think he was serious, actually. Anyway. Let me just see what key we can do this in. Anyone remember what key we were going to do this one in? I'll just put it there, I think. See what happens. What's the worst that can happen?
Maybe B, I think.
I thought B, maybe.
Yeah, it was A and you wanted to take it up a bit.
Yeah, that could be right. Tommy's gone to Frisco Bay. Tommy's gone away. Around Cape Horn the other day.
Tommy's gone away.
Tommy's gone to Singapore.
Tommy's gone away.
Tommy's gone forevermore.
Tommy's gone away. Tommy's gone to Tiger Bay. Tommy's gone away to give them flash girls all his pay. Tommy's gone away.
Tommy's gone to Cardiff town.
Tommy's gone away.
Where the girls all come on down.
Tommy's gone away.
Tommy's gone to Swansea Bay.
Tommy's gone away.
Where the girls all come on down to play.
Tommy's gone away. Tommy's gone to Glasgow. Tommy's
gone away.
He'll be back by next blue moon.
Tommy's gone away.
Tommy's gone to Rotherglen.
Tommy's gone away.
We won't be seeing him again.
Tommy's gone away.
Tommy's gone to Govan Hill. Tommy's
gone away.
There's some that say he lives there still.
Tommy's gone away.
Tommy's gone to Cumbernauld.
Tommy's gone away.
We were quite appalled.
Tommy's gone away.
Tommy's gone to Kelvin Hall.
Tommy's gone away.
Singing's gone all digital.
Tommy's gone away.
And that's all from us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Murray and crew and all. That was fabulous. I loved the Staffa sequence. Except, of course, I've never ever seen the sea around Staffa that calm. No, but fantastic, beautiful sound. Now we're moving on quickly, folks. We now changing the mood slightly. We now have some poetry from Jim Saville. Jim Saville, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Tom. Well, no flashy pictures apart from this one in a sailing boat in my office. Let's the words paint the pictures. I love to sing the songs of the sea as if I could a mariner be, but I'll never be a whale fisherman, 'cause I'm just a landlocked shanty man. I can sing all about the life out on the trawl. I can sing about the heave and the haul, but I've never caught as much as a cran, 'cause I'm just a landlocked shanty man. I can tell you all about that drunken sailor, what life's like on board of a whaler, but I'll never see a sperm whale span, 'cause I'm just a landlocked shanty man. I've read all about shortening sail, rounding the horn in the teeth of a gale, but I couldn't face the famous Stan, 'cause I'm just a landlocked shanty man. I sing a sou'westers, I wear them too, I know the jobs of each of the crew, but I can't yarn as they all can, 'cause I'm just a landlocked shanty man. Even the youngest jolly jats are, that's only been once over the bar, knows I'll never be part of that salt sea clan, 'cause I'm just a landlocked shanty man. But when at last I hear the mollymawk cry, as every shellback must before they die, a burial at sea's my final plan, and I'll no longer be a landlocked shanty man. By yours truly. That was the only one of my poems tonight. I'm going to go a couple of very good poets, a lot better than me. And this is by a lady called Cicely Fox Smith. Many titles, I'm calling it The Racing Clippers. I've not made much of my life, Lord knows. My has been through and through. And mean, as far as I've mostly got, with the things I've meant to do. I'm mucking me chances, blowing me pay. I reckon I've had me share. But I was one of the clansman's crew when she raced the Robin Adair. There was Dan and Clancy and Liverpool Bill, and they were the pick of the lot. And a Glasgow lad as skenned like mad, but his name I clean forgot. A big buck scouse and a cross-eyed Swede, and a fella from the County Clare. Them was the chaps in the starboard watch when we raced the Robin Adair. Dan was lost on the topsail yard on the Pole Star years ago. And Clancy, he died with a knife in his side in a bar in Callio. And Bill, he's married and living ashore, and the rest of them, Lord knows where, for that was oh so long ago when we raced the Robin Adair. But there come a time as he Clyde, neck and neck to the snares he was, and then it started to blow, and soon the clansman was reeling him off, a steady 17 or so. Aye, the skipper grinned as he paced the poop, for that was the weather for her. I am thinking of that with Lassie in the last, says he, of that wonderful Robin Adair. But there comes a time as we climbed the trade, the day was just begun, when we sighted a ship hull down astern and coming like the fun. The old man clapped the glass to his eye, and you should have heard him swear, for out of the south, with a bone in the mouth, there crumps the Robin Adair. Well, we started piling the canvas on, and it had to stop there too. It was breezed up when we sighted her first, and before it was dark it blew. I've seen some carrying on in me time, but I tell you, he made me stare, cracking it on a Biscay gale, just to beat the Robin Adair. But we made the London River at last. It was 12 of St. George's clock. I counted the chimes we made her fast to the boys in the London dock. And we won the race from the width of the world with a tail of the tide to spare. That was the way of it long ago when we beat the Robin Adair. Well, these grand old ships have gone to chips this 14 years and more. They sold her away to a Diego bunch, and the blighters, they ran her ashore. And some around by the Ramelise, and south of the Straits Lemaire, with the fishes a-cruising along her ribs, lies drowned the Robin Adair. Well, there ain't no racing clippers now, there never will be again, and most of the ships are gone by now, the same as most of the men, and nobody left but a few old shells like us in the world to care. For the great old skippers, and the great old ships, and the great old days they were, and the way they had in the Wool Fleet once, when we raced the Robin Adair. Precisely Foxsmith. Another poem by a sailing lady who, although she never actually sailed as a seaman, of course, being a lady she wouldn't, she knew exactly what was what on board ship. And this is about the place, the lee fore brace. There were 10 men hauling on the lee fore brace in the rain and the driving hail, and the mile-long greybeards charging by in that thundering Cape Horn gale. That dark it was, you scarce could see your hand before your face. That cold it was, your fingers froze, stiff as you gripped the brace. And a crisis done, for a night in port, and a Diego fiddler's tune, and just one whiff of the drinks again, in a Callao saloon. There was 10 men hauling on the lee fore brace, when the big sea broke on board. Like a streaming spate, a foaming flood, right fore and aft it roared. While the ship she staggered, and lay so still, so deep, so dead lay she, you'd think she could not rise again from such a weight of sea. There was 10 men hauling on the lee fore brace, 7 when she rose at last. The rest was gone to the pitch dark night, and the sea, and the ice cold blast. And one of them was Dago Pete, and one was Lars the Dane, and the third was a lad who was like an earth I shall not find again. And I'll heave, and I'll haul, and I'll stand me wheel, and reef and furl with the rest, for the wind and waves gone the same, though they took and drowned the best. And it ain't no use to curse the Lord, nor it ain't no use to moan, for a man must live his life the same, and keep his grief his own. So I'll drink me drink, and I'll sing me song, and nobody'll know but me. The lump of my heart went down with Dan that night in the wild Horn Sea. Precisely Foxsmith again. There's lots of great maritime poets. This is from another chap who never actually sailed. He was a Glasgow lad, and he was a newspaper reporter, where he could write a good story. A rare good life I surely had in 50 years at sea. A finer life, I tell you lads, I don't believe could be. And yet you say I'm looking sad and asking what vexes me. Ah well, it's just them bad complaints that young folks seldom gets, unless they happen to be saints or owing foolish debts. Them bad complaints that some polite landlubbers call regrets. 'Tis not regrets what I've done, nor yet for what I've been. The Lord I hope will right the one and make the other clean. But my regret is just the things I might have seen. The Lord, he gives me mariners the grandest life, says I. He gives us both hemispheres to live in or to die. He gives us nearly all the world to sail and freely spy. And it'd be wondrous things to see wherever winds do blow. Just things has now come back to me, too late to rightly know. I wish I had them poor old eyes about 30 years ago. I sometimes fears as when I'm dead, the Lord will say to me, come mariner, hold up the head and tell us of the sea I gave with all its sights for 50 years to thee. And I can only cry, oh Lord, a fool was I, not searching for my best reward in sea and shore and sky. I hardly thought of such great things till sailing days was by. I've told you yarns 1,000 times, and you've called them great. But lad, they'd be like silly rhymes to what I could relate if I'd seen eyes when I was a boy and a man and a mate. Oh lad, I think weak folks like you that sticking on the stile on the Clyde sees far more in a voyage or two of wonders great and wide than many others that spend their lives with time and wind and tide. For mariners be careless men, their sense is mostly keen for weather, land and grog, and when I say my prayers 'twill mean, oh Lord, forgive this mariner for all he might have seen. By John J. Bell. To finish off this little spasm, another poem by John J. Bell, which I think describes me in some ways. For many years I've watched the ships a-sailing to and fro, the mighty ships, the little ships, the speedy and the slow, and many a time I told myself that someday I would go, around the world that is so full of wonders. The swift and stately liners, how they run without a rest. The great three masters, they've touched the east and told the west. The monster burden bearers, oh, they have all plunged and pressed around the world that is so full of wonders. The cruiser and the battleship that loom as dark as doubt. The devilish destroyer and that hateful, hideous scout. These deadly things may also rush with roar and snarl and shout around the world that is so full of wonders. My lord, he owns a grand white yacht, most beautiful and fine, but seldom does she leave the firth, lest he should fail to dine. I'd find 1,000 richer feasts than his, if she were mine, around the world that is so full of wonders. The shabby tramp that like a wedge is hammered through the seas, the little brown-sailed brigantine that traps the slightest breeze. Oh, I'd be well content to fare aboard the least of these, around the world that is so full of wonders. The things I've heard, the things I've read, the things I've dreamed might be. The boyish tales, the old men's yarns, they will not pass from me. I've heard, I've read, I've dreamed, but all the time I've longed to see, around the world that is so full of wonders. So, year by year, I've watched the ships a-sailing to and fro, the ships that come as strangers, and the ships I've learnt to know. Folks might hear an old man say that someday he will go around the world that is so full of wonders. John J. Bell. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Very many thanks, Jim. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been joined after a hard day's work at the BBC by, as I called him, the unstoppable Martin Graham. Martin, are you there?
Greetings, everybody. Hello, Tom.
there.
Good evening. Good evening. How are we doing?
I'm hoping that Martin will now take over MC duties for a small while, and I'll hand over to him, and I'll be back just before the interval. Okay.
Cheers, Tom. Thanks very much. Thank you. Thanks to Jim there for the amazing poems. Those were wonderful, Jim. Thanks very much. Let's hear it once again for Jim, please. Thank you. Yes. Fantastic, fantastic. Now, the next group is I am an occasional member of, but I will not be taking part this evening due to have been thrown out for conduct on becoming a gentleman. I'm slowly but surely trying to work my way back in, but the next group is Voicemail, which is the male vocal harmony group started by the most amazing Harry Camel way back in 1962 when he was just a lad.
And singing was a new invention.
Singing was a new thing, yes, exactly. When everything was in black and white, even the internet. So Voicemail are going to give us a couple of songs just now. So please give a very warm welcome to Voicemail. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Martin. Yeah, so Voicemail is it's a slightly larger group normally than we have here today. Back in the days when people used to sing in each other's physical presence, we used to enjoy meeting on a Wednesday. I can't even remember what night it was. It was a Wednesday, wasn't it, Lance? That's what we used to do. But we are keeping going. We are still on Zoom, and it's entirely possible to join us whenever you feel like it, if you are if you identify as a member of the male persuasion. And I'm just looking around the screen to see if we have everyone with us that we need. We've got, well, where's Ralph got to on the screen? That's the question. I need to get him lined up, but I can't see him. Ralph, if you're there, say something. It's like a seance, isn't it? Oh, there you are. You vanished off to the, you're on my third screen. Right. So I'm putting you there. Thank you, Ralph.
I'm getting confused because I'm watching us on YouTube at the same time. So I'm very
well, you say at the same time, but it's actually like 5 minutes ago, isn't it?
So, yeah, exactly. Trying to sing along with myself.
So we've got Mike, we've got Tom, we've got Richard, we've got Chris, and I think maybe we are quorate. Oh, yes, and we need Tom and Neil. The other Tom, that is. There's Tom. I'll bring him up to where we can see him. And now I'm looking around for what I've done with Neil. It's basically, it's turned into a big game of, there you are, thank you, Neil. What's that game you do by sliding? It's like a Rubik's Cube, but two-dimensional. Right, I think we're all met, gents. So, Ralph, we're going to start with a good joiny any number that I'm sure you'll all know. And it's what, well, we call it Haul Away for Rosie. So do feel free to join us, but obviously while muted. And this one is going to be led for us by Ralph Moffat. So I'm just going to mute everyone. And then, Ralph, you can unmute yourself.
Talk about your harbour girls around the corner, Sally, away, all away for Rosie, away, all away, me Johnny, oh. But they wouldn't go to tea with the girls from Booble Alley, away, all away for Rosie, away, all away, me Johnny, oh.
King Louis was the king of France before the revolution. Away, all away for Rosie, away, all away, me Johnny, oh. Then he got his head cut off and spoiled his constitution. Away, all away for Rosie, away, all away, me Johnny, oh.
Well, now we're leaving Liverpool, bound for the Bay of Mexico, away for Rosie, away, me Johnny, oh. I thought I heard the old man say, it's time for us to roll and go away, for Rosie, away, me Johnny, oh.
When I was a little lad, my mother always told me, away, all away for Rosie, away, all away, me Johnny, oh. That if I didn't kiss the girls, my lips would grow all moldy, away, all away for Rosie, away, all away, me Johnny, oh.
Once I had a Glasgow girl, her hair was golden yellow, away for Rosie, away, me Johnny, oh. I kissed her on the brim in Clyde below the armadillo, away for Rosie, away, me Johnny, oh.
Then I had a party girl, her name was Sally Carter, away for Rosie, away, me Johnny, oh. She took me up the Gilmore Hill and showed me her alma mater, away for Rosie, away, me Johnny, oh.
Miss Sally had a yearning for a voyage of discovery, away for Rosie, away, me Johnny, oh. She took me down the water and I kissed her on the Waverley, away for Rosie, away, me Johnny, oh.
She'd never seen Dumbarton Rock, she'd never seen the Denny Tank. Away for Rosie, away, me Johnny, oh. She grabbed me by the ratchet block.
Careful, Mike.
Gave the line a good old yank. Away for Rosie, away, me Johnny, oh.
She was not long out of port, the wind was getting fresher, away, all away for Rosie, away, all away, me Johnny, oh. I knew she'd had her boilers fixed so she could take the pressure away, haul away for Rosie, away, haul away, me Johnny, oh. She was built for speed, me lads, and no one could outstrip her, away, haul away for Rosie, away, haul away, me Johnny, yo. We rammed the deer at Brodick Bay, I nearly shat a kipper, away, haul away for Rosie, away, haul away, Johnny, yo.
All together.
Away,
Away,
all away for Rosie,
away,
away,
all away,
Haul
away, me Johnny, oh. Well done, all. Thank you very much. Now we just have one more song for you, and it's not a traditional song. It's a song by Andrew Cady, not a particularly well-known performer, I don't think, but it's a great piece, and it's still on the hauling theme. It's a hauling-themed set we're giving you today, because this song is called Keep Hauling, or Keep Hauling Boys, and we're going to be joined on it, I'm very glad to say, by someone I hope you can see at the top right of your screen there. That's Neil McDermott, and just to his right, his dad, Tom. So that's Tom and Tom's son, if you like. And we are going to ask them to start off with a little, what's that word? Instrumental, yes. Do you remember those things when you could have instruments? And they're going to play those instruments, and then there'll be some singing. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? We hope you enjoy it. This is Keep Hauling by Andrew Cady. Feel free to join in on the refrains as ever, but make sure if you do that you are muted, please, so we don't get any distracting noises in the background.
When life keeps hitting you hard, me boys, keep hauling, keep hauling. Woes just seem to outweigh your joys. Keep hauling, boys, when true love seems so far away. Keep hauling, the tide will flood your heart someday. Keep hauling, boys, keep hauling on. Rouse and raise your voice. Hold your course and don't let go. Keep hauling, boys.
When your guiding star is in cloudy skies, keep hauling, you'll find your way in the bright sunrise. Keep hauling, boys. When you gave your best and your heart stayed true, keep hauling, there's only one thing left to do. Keep hauling, boys, keep hauling, oh, rouse and raise your voice. Hold your course and don't let go. Keep hauling, boys.
When you fought so hard but you lose your hold, keep hauling, keep on hauling. Remember fate rewards the bold. Keep hauling, boys.
raise your voice. Hold your course and don't let go. Keep hauling,
Keep hauling on, rouse and raise your voice. Hold your course and don't let go. Keep hauling, boys. Keep hauling on, rouse and raise your voice. Hold your course and don't let go.
keep hauling,
boys.
Well done, Richard. Well done. Thank you very much to Tom and Neil for joining us for that. That was a great pleasure. I think that's the first time that Voicemail has ever performed with instruments. Thank you very much.
Well done, guys. Well done. That was fantastic. Congratulations, overcoming the difficulties of the technology to deliver a wonderful performance. Thanks very much. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, next on our exciting schedule for this evening is Mr. Stephen Clark. So if Stephen is ready to rock and roll, if he's kind enough to unmute himself, then please take it away, Mr.
Good evening, folks. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Fantastic. Not too loud, just okay? Okay, cool. Fantastic. What a fantastic evening. And just want to say a huge thank you to Muldoon's Picnic for giving me the honour of being invited to participate in that really fantastic setting of my song Clyde built earlier on. I was watching on YouTube so that I was not sitting in my audio hovel and was sitting in relative comfort to watch that. So that was really good, fantastic, and brilliant harmonies, beautifully arranged, and thank you so much to the guys for doing that. It was a great performance. So Tom asked me to come and participate in this evening, and I did muse for a second, and I said, Shanty, although I have a full appreciation of shanties and maritime music in general, it doesn't feature a large part of my repertoire. And he said, well, a tangential connection to the sea. So that is what I've aimed to do. There is a tangential connection to things maritime in all the stuff I'm doing tonight. And the first one, the tangential connection is that it mentions shipbuilding, if you listen carefully enough. But it's got a really good chorus. So I hope you'll join in. The chorus goes, I'll wash yours if you wash mine. Hang them out upon the line, and I hope the day stays fine till they dry. Oh, how happy we will be. I'll pay you if you pay me, working in the laundry till we die. We'll do the chorus again. And join in if you feel like it. Join in if you don't feel like it. I'll wash yours if you wash mine. hang them out upon the line, and I hope the day stays fine till they dry. Oh, how happy we will be. I'll pay you if you pay me, working in the laundry till we die. Once upon the land we toil, sow the seed until the soil. Now we watch the kettle boil for our tea. And the deep suspicion grows, washing other people's clothes is the future, I suppose, for you and me. I'll wash yours if you wash mine, hang them out upon the line, and I hope the day stays fine till they dry. Oh, how happy we will be. I'll pay you if you pay me, working in the laundry till we die. Here comes the maritime verse. Once they built ships on the Clyde, down the slipway they would glide, and a man could take some pride in his trade. Now there's marinas and there's yachts, tell the haves from the have-nots, and the pride is all forgotten and betrayed. I'll wash yours if you wash mine, hang them out upon the line, and I hope the day stays fine till they dry. Oh, how happy we will be. I'll pay you if you pay me, working in the laundry till we die. I'm trying to remember the next verse. It'll come to me in a moment. Now my mortgage went subprime, though they say there's been no crime. You and me are doing the time every day. I never thought I'd own a bank, and I've got Sir Fred to thank, but it's going down the stank all the way. I'll wash yours if you wash mine, hang them out upon the line, and I hope the day stays fine till they dry. Oh, how happy we will be. I'll pay you if you pay me, working in the laundry till we die. Working in the laundry till we die. Thank you. So, this song's got a slightly less tangential connection with the sea. And one I wrote a while back. It's quite presumptuous because it attempts to encapsulate several years of Scottish and world history into about 3 verses. And if you're not aware of the Darian venture, the Darian scheme in terms of Scottish history, very briefly, it was an attempt by Scotland when Scotland thought it would like to have an empire for a couple of years, and it was particularly ill-fated, and it was doomed from the start for all sorts of reasons. But not least of the reasons was the fact that they were trying to colonise a bit of Latin America on the Isthmus of Panama, which the Spanish were pretty convinced that they already owned.
And it led to the Union.
And it led indeed to the Union, as you say, Graham. How are you?
I'm very well.
So this is called the Darian scheme, and the names of the ships, for reasons of brevity, I've only mentioned 4 of the ships that were involved in the expedition, although there were several more. The only one that actually made it back again from the many ships that went out was one called the Caledonia. A land of beggars, tired and hungry, wars and famines, bled you dry. The peddler's wares were bright and gaudy, the ribbons' colours snared your eye. Have you gold? Have you silver? Pledge your word and name. Trade and clergy, lords and commons, from near and far, as one they came. And they bore a heavy burden, a nation's hope, a people's dream. The odds were long, they staked the future, gambling on the Darian scheme. Did you dream of gold and treasure, toiling in the rain? Plague and hunger were your measure, an unmarked grave for all your pains. Upon the flag the sun was rising, for the day they hoped would dawn. The course was set toward the sunset. In a blink, all hope was gone. The St. Andrew, the Endeavour, and the Dolphin left these shores. All alone, the Caledonia would return to home once more. And they bore a heavy burden, a stifled hope, a broken dream. They staked the future, lost a nation, gambling on the Darian scheme. Staked the future, lost a nation, gambling on the Darian scheme. Gambling on the Darian scheme.
Well done, Stevie.
Thank you very much. Thank you. When I kind of reviewed the songs that I had available with any tangential marine connection, they all sounded, a lot of them sounded a little bit, not the most upbeat things I've ever sung. And so I came up with I'll finish off with my last song with a new song, and literally brand new. And it's in view of the fact that a lot of people who end up making sea journeys may not have done so out of choice, and maybe they've done so out of necessity. This one's called Wind and Wave. And thanks very much for having me. Thanks very much for listening. I will finish off with this one. This has got a really easy chorus. I'll sing the chorus a couple of times at the start, and hopefully you can get it from there. Bear with me just a moment till I... Yeah, as I say, it's brand new. Not even sure what key it's in. So here we go. Wind and wave, carry me homeward, carry me across the sea. Wind and wave, carry me over to the home that waits for me. That's the chorus. Wind and wave, carry me homeward, carry me across the sea. Wind and wave, carry me over to the home that waits for me. War and famine came upon us, grief and chaos have I fled. War and famine lie behind me, doubt and darkness lie ahead. Wind and wave, carry me homeward, carry me across the sea. Wind and wave, carry me over to the home that waits for me. I have walked through storm and fire when the way was hard and slow. Crossed the walls, crossed the wire, shivered in the rain and snow. Wind and wave, carry me homeward, carry me across the sea. Wind and wave, carry me over to the home that waits for me. I have left my brothers and sisters, fields were spoiled and houses burned. Away is now my only direction, no way back and no return. Wind and wave, carry me homeward, carry me across the sea. Wind and wave, carry me over to the home that waits for me. Waves, I ask you, do not betray me. Wind, please take me to the shore. Wind and wave, be gentle to me. Take me to the land once more. Wind and wave, carry me homeward, carry me across the sea. Wind and wave, carry me over to the home that waits for me. Wind and wave, carry me homeward, carry me across the sea. Wind and wave, carry me over to the home that waits for me. Thanks very much, everybody. Enjoy your evening.
Wonderful. That was wonderful, Stephen. Thank you so much.
Martin.
Fantastic song.
Martin.
Fantastic song.
Martin.
Wind and
Yes,
wave.
Tom.
Okay, sorry, I have to interrupt you there. We've had a bit of a problem because Monkey's Fist were due to appear later on, but they've had a slight issue with the...
Sorry to interrupt, Tom. Someone has got YouTube on in the background. Is it you? And could you mute it?
It is not. And could... Okay. Right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, we have Monkey's Fist, a wee bit of a problem. They are going to be appearing from the place where they were due to appear this weekend, and very gratefully we were had they had agreed to put on the show anyway from Robin Hood's Bay, and they had worked out a place to perform from. Unfortunately, that place is due to close fairly soon, so they're hoping to come on now. and I'm hoping, Harry, that you'll be able to facilitate that. And I'm hoping that David Kidman, if he could unmute himself, and David, would you mind coming on a little later?
Not terribly convenient, but in the circumstances, what are we doing? Half an hour?
Half an hour, yes. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Sorry, David. It's just they're going to be thrown out of the place where they're recording from.
I have no option. Why not?
I'm awfully sorry, David. Could we have? I'm just going to do away with the interval, and you would be on immediately after Monkey's Fist. Is that okay?
Right, you are.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you, folks. Thank you for bearing with us. These things happen in these situations. And Harry, if you could pass you over to you, Harry, and you could introduce Monkey's Fist. Or sorry,
Yes.
or Martin, whoever. Okay.
Harry, all yours.
Yeah, I'm not sure who gets to do this, have this happy honor, but I seem to have ended up with it. So thank you. Well, Monkey's Fist soon to become a tradition of our recently born Glasgow Shanty tradition. They were there last year for Clyde Built, and back in June at the Oban Shanty Festival, which was online like this one. And I hadn't seen them before last year, but what a great pleasure it was to see them. And as you can see, they are in some kind of barn or aircraft hangar or something. Let's see if we can zoom. I'm gonna spotlight them for you using my magic powers. And there they are. Evening, lads. You're looking great. Well, I won't delay any longer. You've got a very, very socially distanced audience behind you, I see. Nearly one person there, I see, in the pews. Very good. So anyway, I'll let you take it away. Thank you very much. Monkey's Fist, everyone.
Thank you, Harry. We're actually in church. It's not very often you'll see us in church. We're in an old Methodist chapel called the Cove in Robin Hood's Bay, and the owner of the venue, Richard's, kindly let us use the space that we should have been performing in on Friday evening. With Eliza Carthy. So instead, you've just got us. We're going to do half an hour or so, some sea shanties, some songs, mainly off our CD, which is Away to the Seas, which is going to get starting being sent out to people now. I suppose we'll have to send David Kidman a free copy for inconveniencing him. Take it away, John.
Way haul away, we'll haul away the bowling. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. Way haul away, the package she's a rolling. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. My little boy, me mother often told me. Way haul away, we'll haul away. And if I didn't kiss the girls, my lips would go moldy. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. Louis was the king of France before the revolution. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. Louis went to journey and spoilt his constitution. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. Way haul away, we'll haul away the bowling. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. Haul the bowling, the bonny bowling. Haul on the bowling. The bowling, ho! On the bowling for tears, me darling. Ho! Bowling, ho! On the bowling for Kitty lives in Liverpool. Ho! On the bowling, ho! On the bowling for Liverpool's a fine town. Ho! On the bowling, ho! On the bowling, the bonny bowling. Ho! On the bowling, ho!
This is a song with
with a slight Robin Hood Bay connection. A couple of years ago we were here, my father was with us, telling us about his national to Germany. And as he was telling us the story, Colin said, I know a song about that. So it's a song written by a fellow from just up the coast from here, Graham Miles, and it's a song called The Shores of Old Blighty.
And the shores of Old Blighty we're leaving behind. The dark lights of Harwich are fading away. When we get to Germany, how will we find life on a few holiday, Sergeant? Life on a few holiday. We've said our goodbyes to the girls on the quay, and it's with heavy hearts that we lean on the rail. The roll call's been taken, the siren has blown. Now that means we're ready to sail, Sergeant. Now that means we're ready to sail. We're 200 conscripts, all barely but men, and each with a number instead of a name. We wish this old steamer would turn back for home, and each lad is thinking the same, Sergeant. And each lad is thinking the same. And the shores of Old Blighty we're leaving behind. The dark lights of Harwich are fading away. When we get to Germany, how will we find life on a few holidays, Sergeant? Life on a few holidays. We're 200 squatters on a troop carrying ship, all dressed in our uniform brown, all over the sea on an overnight trip, for the sake of the good old crown. Sergeant, for the sake of the good old crown. We're 200 soldiers who are asleep down below, till the corporal yells at us at dawn. Get out of your pits, get on deck with your kit, then down on the quay we will fall, Sergeant. Then down on the quay we will fall, and the shores of Old Blighty we're leaving behind. The dark lights of Harwich are fading away. When we get to Germany, how will we find life on a few holiday, Sergeant? Life on a few holiday. And the shores of Old Blighty we're leaving behind. The dark lights of Harwich are fading away. When we get to Germany, how will we find life on a few holiday, Sergeant? Life on a few holiday, Sergeant. Life on a few holiday.
Shores of Old Blighty by Graham Miles. Being as this is a shanty festival, a shanty night, I suppose we ought to do a couple of shanties as well while we're at it.
Why not?
This is another one from the new CD. If anybody wants a copy of the new CD, we'll have a website up and available in the next couple of weeks, monkeysfistfolk.com. But in the meantime, you can get us on Facebook at Monkeys Fist Shanty, or you can email me at steveflude@gmail.com and we'll sort you out with a copy of it. We're homeward bound from China on board a Yankee liner. Ranzo, ranzo, hooray, hooray. We're getting out the long-tail blues to waltz those girls around. To me, hi-lo, me ranzo, hooray. We ploughed the whole world over and soon we'll be off Dover. Ranzo, ranzo, hooray, hooray. We ploughed the whole world over like a proper deep-sea rover. To me, hi-lo, me ranzo, hooray. We'll pass the cliffs of Dover and then we'll be in clover. Ranzo, ranzo, hooray, hooray. We'll anchor in the Downs, for we're bound for London town. To me, hi-lo, me ranzo, hooray. We're loaded down with curios from China and the Indies. Ranzo, ranzo, hooray, hooray. We'll soon be seeing all the girls we do adore. To me, hi-lo, me ranzo, hooray. When I get home to meet you, it's with kisses I will greet you. Ranzo, ranzo, hooray, hooray. We'll tie her up in London, then we'll all go on the rantan. To me, hi-lo, me ranzo, hooray. We'll drink and sing and have our fun, says every jolly Johnny. Ranzo, ranzo, hooray, hooray. The girls are waiting on the pier, soon they'll have our money. To me, hi-lo, me ranzo, hooray. To me, hi-lo, me ranzo, hooray. Virtual claps and a clap from our audience of 2. We've managed to keep to the rule of 5 because we're awkward. We're not going with 6. No. This was originally a poem written by a fellow called Henry Lawson, an Australian poet, and a tune was put to it by a fellow called Jerry Hallam, who for some reason left the bright climate of Australia and came to live in Yorkshire, of all places.
What light shone to the morning mist that rolled from the water's green, and over the railings we grasped his fist. Dark tide came between, kid the captain, our friend, time's out at mind, and he was going to land it left behind.
They marry and go as the world rolls back. They marry and vanish and die, but their spirits shall live on the outside track as long as the years go by.
We rode lang syne as a last farewell, though my heart was out of joy. I well remember the hush that fell. Steamer had passed the point. We drifted home to the public bars. We were 10 times short by 1. Sailed out under the morning star and under the rising sun.
Oh, they marry and go as the world rolls back. They marry and vanish and die, but their spirits shall live on the outside track as long as the years go by.
One by one, 2 by 2, sailed from the port since then. Said goodbye to the last I knew,
last of the careless men. And I can't but think the times we had were the best times after all. As I sit, turn aside the lonely grass and drink to the barren wind.
For they marry and go as the world rolls back. They marry and vanish and die, but their spirits shall live on the outside track as long as the years go by. For they marry and go as the world rolls back. They marry and vanish and die, but their spirits shall live on the outside track as long as the years go by.
As long as the years go by.
Sign on our screen telling us that the battery's running low. A laptop that we're actually plugged into the mains, and it so unless there's something wrong with mains electric in wonderful Robin Hood's Bay, we should be okay. This is a song. Okay. Sorry. As I walk down the Broadway one evening in July, I betrayed a sailor John, says I, and away to Santy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? Well, I took her down to Tiffany's, I did not mind expense. I bought her 2 gold earrings and they cost me 50 cents. And away to Santy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? Says she, a Lloyd sailor, it's see me home, you may. When we reached her cottage door, these words to me she say, and away is Santy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? When we flashman, he's a Yankee with his haircut short behind. He wears a pair of red top boots, he's boating with a black hole line. And away is Santy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? Now he's homeward bound this evening, and with me he will stay. So very well, you limey lad, get cracking on your way. And away is Santy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? So I kissed her hard and proper, for a flashman came. Said, very well, you Barry, I know your little game. And away is Santy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? So a rapping lad rags around me, and to the dogs did steer. I'll never kiss another gal, I'll stick to me rum and beer. And away is Santy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? So I signed on a Cunard floatboat and I sailed away next morn. Say, clear of all them pretty little gals, you're safe around Cape Horn. And away is Santy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? And away is Santy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? How many more do you want, Harry? 1, 2?
Could we just have one more, if that's all right? It's the connection is really struggling.
All right, thank you.
Thanks very much.
This is a song. This is a song that was thought to have been, as it was actually found in the log of an American whaling ship. But it turns out it was actually written a couple of years earlier by called George Payne Rainsford James, and it was actually in his book, the Arabella Stewart story. If you want any further details of that, all the details are on the back of our new CD that I may have mentioned. So you can actually get the full story of that. The tune was put to it by a wonderful musician from down the south. Word of the chorus. But these are the words as were originally by the author. Okay. Thank you for having us. Absolutely. And hopefully we're back in Auburn and Glasgow next year if the world returns to normal, or when the world returns to normal. Out up in the summer sky, pull on, and homeward I. Now take one look behind. Row on, another day may shine with brighter light. Ply the oars and pull away. Thou must not come tonight. There where thou goest, the words of love, say all that words can say. Changeless affection, strength to prove. Let's speed upon the way. Row on, another day may shine with brighter light. Ply the oars and pull away. Thou must not come tonight. And like yon river would I glide to my heart would be. My bark should soon outsail the tide that hurries to the sea. Row on, another day may shine with brighter light. Ply the oars and pull away. Thou must not come tonight. That yet star shines constant still in yonder cloudy sky, and hope as bright my bosom fills from faith that cannot die. Row on, another day may shine with brighter light. Ply the oars and pull away. Thou must not come tonight. Row on, another day. Thou must not linger here. Storms hang about the closing day. Tomorrow may be clear. Row on, another day may shine with brighter light. Ply the oars and pull away. Thou must not come tonight. Row on, another day may shine with brighter light. Ply the oars and pull away. Thou must not come tonight. Thank you very, very much for having us. Thank you.
Monkey's Fist, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Sorry that we've had some fairly tough problems there with the connection. It seems that Robin Hood didn't have a good ISP, and we're suffering from that. But it's kind of faded in and out. But when it was there, it was superb. Thank you very much indeed, Monkey's Fist. I've posted their URL, their Facebook page in the chat. So I think they said something about a CD. I can't remember, but that's where you'd find the details, I'm sure.
Well done.
Handing back to Martin now.
Yeah. Thanks, Harry. Thanks to Monkey's Fist again. That was wonderful. Now, can we please give it up for David Kidman, who's very patiently waited and very kindly given up his spot. David, if you'd be kind enough to show yourself to us, and if you're up for giving us a couple of songs, that'd be amazing. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, David Kidman.
Oh, hi there. Great to be here. And, talk about last minute. I've also had to rejig my set. And the guys at Monkey's Fist will know exactly why. But it's great to hear them again. Now, what I'm going to do is run my set through without doing credits until the end, because I know you're all running slightly late. So, I'm going to take you on a voyage. We start off around Cape Horn. Around Cape Horn all the young men go, and when the young men go away, then all the young girls dress up neat, and they go a-cruising down the street. Right fall day, folly riddle day, right folly ride, oh folly riddle day, right fall day, folly riddle day, right folly ride, oh folly riddle day. Now far from the fields all the young men have gone, far from home and all forlorn. They wish to the Lord that they'd never been born, for going cruising round Cape Horn. Right fall day, folly riddle day, right folly ride, oh folly riddle day, right fall day, folly riddle day, right folly ride, oh folly riddle day. Now when those young men they get home, this is the story that they will hear. Come along with me, you need not fear, for nobody's courted me this year. Right fall day, folly riddle day, right folly ride, oh folly riddle day, right fall day, folly riddle day, right folly ride, oh folly riddle day. Then a sweet false smile they likes for to wear, with their long false curls and long false hair, and white satin slippers with a silken bow, to keep those young men all in tow. Right fall day, folly riddle day, right folly ride, oh folly riddle day, right fall day, folly riddle day, right folly ride, oh folly riddle day. For around Cape Horn all the young men go, when the young men go away, then all the young girls dress up neat, and they go a-cruising down the street. Right fall day, folly riddle day, right folly ride, oh folly riddle day, right fall day, folly riddle day, right folly ride, oh folly riddle Hey, can't be that much fun going round Cape Horn, can it? Especially having to obey the local superstitions. Now the Southern Ocean is a lonely place, where the storms are many and the shelter scarce. Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn, on the restless waters and the troubling sky, there you'll see the mollymock wheel and fly. Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. Oh, won't you ride the wind and go, white seabird? Won't you ride the wind and go, Mollymock? Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. See the mollymock riding on his wide white wings, and Lord, what a lonesome song he sings. Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. And he's got no compass and he's got no gear, and there's none can tell you how that mollymock steers. Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. Oh, won't you ride to the wind and go, white seabird? Oh, won't you ride the wind and go, mollymock? Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. No, he's the ghost of a sailorman, as I've heard say, whose body had sank and his soul flew away. Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. And he's got no haven and he's got no home, he's bound for evermore for to wheel and roam. Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. Oh, won't you ride the wind and go, white seabird? Won't you ride the wind and go, mollymock? Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. Now when I get too weary for to sail no more, let my bones sink better far away from shore. Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. You can cast me loose and leave me drifting free, and I'll keep that big bird company. Down upon the southern ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. Oh, won't you ride the wind and go, white seabird? Oh, won't you ride the wind and go, Molly Moore? Down upon the southern ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. Long ago what?
Wonderful.
And as sailors know, when they come across superstitions, they must utter a prayer. So we'll finish with the sailor's prayer. Though my sails be torn and tattered, and the mast be torn about, let the night wind chill me to my very soul. And though the spray might sting my eyes, and the stars no light provide, give me just another morning light to hold. For I will not lie me down, this rain a-raging, this will not lie me down in such a storm. And if this night be unblessed, I shall not take my rest until I reach another shore. And though the only water left is but salt to wound my thirst, I will drink the rain that falls steady down. And though night's blindness be my gift, and there be thieves upon my drift, I will thank the fog that shelters me along. I will not lie me down, this rain a-raging. I will not lie me down in such a storm. And if this night be unblessed, I shall not take my rest until I reach another shore. And though my mates be drained and weary, and I believe their hopes are lost, and there's no need for their bones upon that blackened bottom, and though death waits just off the bow, we will not answer to him now. He shall stand to face the morning light without us. For I will not lie me down, this rain a-raging. I will not lie me down in such a storm. And if this night be unblessed, well, I shall not take my rest until I reach another shore. Yes, I will not lie me down, this rain a-raging. I will not lie me down in such a storm. And if this night be unblessed, I shall not take my rest until I reach another shore. And if this night be unblessed, well, I shall not take my rest until I reach another shore. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, Tom. Been a great evening. Cheers.
Thanks very much. Wonderful. Thanks a lot, David.
Cheers. Thank you, David.
Back to Mr. Malone.
Well, many thanks, Martin. I had been hoping that we would introduce very quickly Jan B. Brown, who is the shanty man, shanty lady of the dreadnought shanty crew in Leith, a sleepy little fishing village by the Firth of Forth. But unfortunately, I don't find her here. Jan, if you're still with us, can you make yourself known? Okay, basically what she was hoping to do was to promote an initiative she's hoping to have done a film made into film of a shanty thing. There is an advert in your programme, so what I would suggest is go and look at your programme and support that that initiative by Jan B. Brown of the Dreadnought Shanty crew. But meanwhile, we are rushing on because we are running a little late, and we're not going to have an interval. Go and make yourself a cup of tea in between when I'm talking, if nothing else, and then come back quickly for all the rest of this great entertainment. I'm going to hand back to Martin, who I believe is going to introduce our local favourites. One of the things that we started the shanty. The Glasgow Shanty night for was to give local talent an opportunity to show their talents, and one of the great contributors tonight, Govan Hill Voices, are about to do just that. I'll hand you back to Martin. Thank you.
Well, I don't know if there's much more to say. Govan Hill Voices are a wonderful choir based in Govan Hill. Lots of wonderful singers, including this one here. I think I'm going to hand you over to Cassia, who's the leader of Govan Hill Voices. She could introduce them better than me. Cassia, take it away, please.
Okay. Yeah, hello. Hi, I'm Kasia. I'm the leader of the choir. And I'm here also together with Bethany and Loic. And we actually shared already tasks. So we've got 2 songs, and the first song will be introduced by Bethany.
Hello. Hi everyone. I think a lot of the members of Govan Hill Voices are watching on the YouTube stream just now, so I'm not sure many of them are here. But yes, so we've got 2 songs for you. The first one is a song that some of you may recognise from last year. We sang it as I think our first song last year, and it was led by David Stevenson, who was one of our founding members and sadly passed away a few weeks after we actually performed this. So we're singing it as a wee tribute to David tonight. So we're going to start off with that. And you may have to bear with me because I'm going to have to share my screen to show you this. Please feel free to sing along to this as well. It's got a very, very simple sort of call and response structure. So, oh, thank you, Martin. That's David there. Oh, how lovely. So if you hold on a second, the host disabled attendee screen sharing, right, Tom? Are you?
Oh, you've just been made.
Oh, no, I've been made a co-host. Lovely. Okay, here we go. So give me a second. Share computer sound, desktop. Okay. So here we go.
Can everybody see?
Can everyone see this? Can you quickly tell me before?
No, we can't see yet.
Basically, I will show the video.
Oh, amazing.
Okay,
Tom
yeah,
has it
thank you,
sorted,
Tom.
so I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Okay.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay.
Santiana.
Tom, I think you're sharing your whole screen rather than just the window.
Fare thee well, I'm bound to leave you. Fare thee well, I'm bound to leave you. For my master, he's bound to sell me. For my master wants to sell me. Sell me for the big dollar. Shallow, shallow ground. Great big Yankee dollar. Gonna ship on board a whaler. Shallow, shallow ground. Gonna ship aboard a whaler. Shallow, shallow ground. Bound away for St. George's. Shallow, shallow ground. Bound away for old St. George's. Shallow, shallow ground. Fare thee well, my Juliana. Fare thee well, my Juliana. Shallow, shallow ground.
I think Kaja is going to introduce the next one before it starts.
Yes, so as you probably saw, we are going to sing Santiana. So just join in and we will sing all together Santiana. And I will just tell a little bit briefly how we recorded the song. So first, it was a period of time when it was allowed to meet in a very, very small group. So we decided, oh, maybe we will record in small groups outside. But that was only one time because then we needed to, again, record remotely. And maybe sometimes you hear the wind. So it's like on the sea because we recorded outside with the wind. So feel free to join us and Santiana.
Santiana fought for gold away,
Santiana,
around Cape Horn through the ice and snow,
along the plains of Mexico.
Well,
Heave her up and away we'll go, away, Santiana. Heave her up and away we'll go, along the plains of Mexico.
she she's a fast clipper ship and a bully good crew. Away, Santiana, and an old salty Yank for a captain too. Along the plains of Mexico, well, heave her up and away we'll go. Away, Santiana, heave her up and away we'll go. Along the plains of Mexico. 'Twas on the field of Molly Del Rey. Away, Santiana, well, both his legs got blown away. Along the plains of Mexico, well, heave her up and away we'll go. Away, Santiana, heave her up and away we'll go. Along the plains of Mexico. It was a fierce and a bitter strife. Away, Santiana, the General Taylor took his life. Along the plains of Mexico, well, heave her up and away we'll go. Away, Santiana, heave her up and away we'll go. Along the plains of Mexico. Santiana, now we mourn. Away, Santiana. We left him buried off of Cape Horn.
Great stuff, Govan Hill Voices. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wonderful production effort going on there with the video and all that. Thank you very much. Once more time for Govan Hill Voices. Next in our programme is Dan, the storytelling man. Now, I have had the pleasure of seeing Dan doing his thing live at least once. I think it was a thing at the West Brewery, Dan.
Yes.
What was it called again? What was that night called?
It was called Sangs and Clatter.
Sangs and Clatter. Yeah, that was awesome. Absolutely awesome. So listen, thank you so much for joining us this evening. So I'm going to just hand over to you because nobody can introduce you better than yourself. Please, ladies and gentlemen, here's Dan.
Thank you very much for having me along. I don't know if anybody was around at the beginning, but Tom said that I'm waiting for my first child. I'm actually waiting for my second child, which is due to be born in 2 days' time. And I could go into a big explanation as to how I know it's 2 days' time. But let's just say that it's just going to have incredible timekeeping. And it's taking after its father. And I'm going to try and prove that now by keeping to my 10 minutes time. We'll see. But you can ask me at the end if that's true. I wanted to tell a story tonight that is, for me, it's rooted at the Brigate, just along the Clyde here in Glasgow, which is where I am. Obviously, from my accent, you can tell that I am not from here. But it's a story that takes place back when the Brigate was a cracking fish market. And I want to tell you a story about a boat that had 6 fishermen on. Those 6 fishermen were some of the finest fisher folk that you have ever met in all your life. And I mean, they were like proper fisher folk. You know, they wore Aran jumpers and had sou'westers, things like that. And they would sail out on their boat out into the Firth of Clyde, and they would go, and every single night they would gather as much fish as they could. They'd sail back down the Clyde, past the Glenlee, and they'd dump their fish in the Brigate, and they'd go straight away. They'd take the wodge of cash that they would make, and they would spend it in the pubs that were close by. And if you still go down to that area of Glasgow, the pubs still open very, very early to deal with the fisher folk that used to come there. Now, the interesting thing about these these men was not that they had some of the finest singing voices in all of Glasgow. And that of an evening when the moon was fat and the cold was crystal clear, they would sing out so beautifully. Their 6-part harmony was impeccable. And the only reason they're not here tonight is, well, they're key workers, so they're out there fishing right now. That's not the interesting thing about them. The interesting thing about these 6 fellas is that they were all called Angus. There was Angus, 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 and Angus. And these 6 Anguses, well, they had beautiful singing voices and they were very strong men and they knew what fish to catch and how much money to earn, but they lacked a certain something up here. I'm sure we've all met men like that in our time. And one particular day, it had been a wonderful night. They have caught so many fish and they had sung loudly across the clear blue waves. And when they got back to Glasgow and sold their fish, they had earned a pretty sweet wodge of cash. So they took it to the pub. And normally what would happen is that they would have one drink, sing a few songs, tell a few stories, and then they'd go home. But because their bounty was particularly strong, they thought they'd have another, and another, and another, and another. And more songs were sung, and more stories were told, and more jokes were told. And as the day wore on, they got filthier and filthier. But then all of a sudden, there was a moment of silence. There was a moment of pause amongst the fishermen after a shanty had been sung that left their hearts bleeding, when Angus looked around and he counted the men in front of him. He said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's Angus? He said out loud to the pub. The other Anguses, they looked at each other hurriedly. And then another Angus stepped forward and counted them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's Angus? The next Angus did the same, the next Angus did the same, and the next Angus did the same. Soon a hubbub is developing in the pub. They are freaking out. They thought that perhaps Angus had been left at sea. They wondered if he'd been sold at the Brigate by an oily fishwife. They didn't know what had happened to him. So they instantly barged the fellow publicans out of the way and ran up the street. They went down the Salt Market and up High Street, and they looked everywhere they could. They looked under cars. They looked past people's doors. They looked under manhole covers. Everywhere they searched, they couldn't see him at all. They were searching for hours and they were making their way up High Street when all of a sudden Angus, he felt a terrible feeling in his hip. Always had bad hips. So he had to just take a little seat, take the weight off on a well that still sits halfway up High Street. If you end up there, you should go and check it out. He sits down on the side of the well and he takes a breather. And he takes a deep breath and he makes a sigh. He just goes, and as he sighs, he hears a sigh behind him. And he turns round and he looks down the well. And all of a sudden he sees there at the bottom of the well, a face staring back at him, a face just like his own. And he calls down to the well and he shouts, Angus! And he hears coming up from the bottom of the well, Angus! He's down there. They can't believe that they've found him after all this time. So Angus, he reaches down into the well as hard and as fast as he could, but obviously the well is deep. So he has to call to his mate Angus, who's coming up the road. He says, Angus, get over here. Angus comes up. Angus takes Angus by the ankles and lowers him down the well. Now, obviously, that's still not far enough. Angus number 1 is still reaching out as hard as he can to try and touch the fingers of Angus at the bottom. Just to clarify, I know it's late, but I really hope you're getting what's going on in this story. All right. If you're not, then I would just log out right now. That's good. It's not far enough. So they need to call to the next Angus. Angus! Angus comes over. Angus grabs Angus by the ankles and Angus grabs Angus by the ankles and Angus lowers Angus down into the well. But It's not far enough at all. They cannot reach. It's too far away. Of course, Angus number 4 comes up the hill. They called him over. Angus grabs Angus by the ankles, and Angus grabs Angus, and Angus grabs Angus, and they lower each other down the well. Still not enough. The next Angus comes up. Angus lowers Angus, Angus, and Angus down into the well, and Angus at the bottom is reaching out as far as he can, trying to just grab Angus at the bottom. He can see Angus. Angus is reaching up, straining with all his might to try and reach Angus, who's dangling at the bottom of this chain of people, but it's still not close enough. So they have to call Angus. And Angus is coming up the hill a bit late because he's a strong, strong man, but he lacks in cardio, right? So it takes him a long time to walk up High Street. And if you ever walked up High Street, you'll know what I mean. Angus walks over. He's basically just a big bicep. He's huge. Angus grabs Angus by the ankles, and 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 Angus lowers Angus into the well, and they're all dangling there. Angus at the top head down the well, and the echoes across this well are so beautiful. If I could 3D model that well and show you what it's like, I would do it right now, but I don't have the technology. All of a sudden, who should walk by down High Street at that very moment but their 6 wives? Incidentally, those 6 wives, they're all called Agnes. There's Agnes, 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 and Agnes. And Agnes spots Angus and she says, Angus, what are you doing? And Angus explains that he's lowering and trying to get Angus out the bottom of the well. And Agnes says, Angus, pull up, everybody. So Angus pulls up Angus, and Angus pulls up Angus, and Angus pulls up Angus, and Angus pulls up Angus, Angus, and Angus pulls up Angus, and Angus pulls up Angus. And they're all stood in front of the Agneses. And Agnes looks at them all. She steps forward and she counts them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, all the Anguses are looking at each other. Their heads are turning back and forth. Their eyes widen, their mouths open with delight. And they go, oh, we must have pulled him up. They each hit each other on the back. They're giving each other hugs, telling each other how much they've missed each other and how bad they felt if they'd lost them. And each Angus takes their Agnes in hand, and they go back to the pub down at the Brigget down at the Salt Market, and they have another few drinks before heading home. And there's a reason that I know that that story is true. And you'll spot it, right? If you're down by the Clyde, if you're ever in Glasgow, even if you live over the waters in America, come over, go down to the Clyde, and you might see that ship passing along the Clyde at some point. And if you see that ship or a ship, and dangling over the side are 6 burly, hairy men holding on to each other's ankles, that'll be the Anguses, because that's the way that they catch fish now. And they've also realized that it's an excellent way to release the diaphragm. So if you thought their 6-part harmonies were good then, they're even better now. And that is the story of the 6 silly fishermen. Thank you. Oh, it was a minute over. It was a minute over. God.
It has to be a prize for that.
Fantastic, Dan. That was fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'll cheers you. Thank you.
Slàinte mhath. And here's to the Anguses. I think we've all got a bit of Angus in us, don't we? Thanks again, Dan. Thank you. So our next performer tonight is going to be Alan Jones. Alan, thank you for waiting patiently. If you're up for unmuting yourself, would you kindly grace us with a song or two?
Absolutely. I thought there was somebody on before me. I must have got it wrong.
There was a video. The video got cancelled just for you.
Oh, right. Okay. Anyway. Just to let everybody see, it's a concertina, but I can't work out how to get me and the concertina in shot without sitting in the kitchen, so how's that for balance? Is it reasonable? Yeah, good, good. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of songs of my own. I'm going to try and do, this is our last star did. I'm going to try and keep in the 10 minutes and give you guys a fighting chance. And like Stephen, I'm a singer-songwriter, so hopefully I won't have any of the problems that some of you might have encountered of somebody doing your stuff before you get on. So there's not much chance of people doing my stuff. I like Dan's story, by the way, that was great. So this first song actually has been, you've had some prompts for it already, because Daisy from Muldoon Picnic had a wee puffer as her background, which is really nice. And Tom McDermott, when he was playing his, I think it was his first tune on his concertina, he played the Parahandy polka, which all kind of goes well together to introduce my song about one of my heroes, certainly in literature, and his vessel, which was the Vital Spark. There's a bonny wee puffer that sailed on the Clyde, up and down the coast on the western side. In all her herbs she left her mark, the name that she sailed under was the Vital Spark. Now the Vital Spark, the captain I said, was the smartest vessel in the coastal trade. A life on board was really quite swell, and if Dougie was here he would tell you himself. Parahandy was his name, skipper o' a puffer was his claim to fame. Humming a tune sitting down by the Clyde, or tacking a wee dram as he waits for the tide. Parahandy's I got a scheme or two to make a few bob for him and the crew, and he's always joking neither up nor down, sailing out for bowling off the Campbelltown. Now Dougie is the mate on the Vital Spark, he's up for hijinks or a bit o' a lark. He doesn't really care if the trade's in a slump, he sits on his bucket playing a tune in his trump. Parahandy was his name, skipper o' a puffer was his claim to fame. Humming a tune sitting down by the Clyde, or tacking a wee dram as he waits for the tide.
We could just hear it on here, can't we?
Is somebody joining in here? What's happening? How can you join in with a song you've never heard? Dan McPhail's down in the engine room, reading penny novels to make your head go boom. The thing on the engine's going round and round, he wonders why the hell it's no going up and down. Sonny Jim, he is the boy on the boats, and he's always happy when the boat's afloat. He's always happy in the rain and the sun, playing a wee tune in his melodeon. Parahandy was his name, skipper o' a puffer was his claim to fame. Humming a tune sitting down by the Clyde, or tacking a wee dram as he waits for the tide. Now the crewans had a wee windfall, and they nailed some money to the barroom wall. They settled down to hae some fun, they said fling us out when that 10 bob's done. Now this all happened a long time ago, when Puffer sailed up and down and to and fro, with coal and island wood and steel and there beside. Their engine sound was the song of the Clyde. Parahandy was his name, skipper o' a puffer was his claim to fame. Humming a tune sitting down by the Clyde, or tacking a wee dram as he waits for the tide. Now the trains and the lorries, they've done their worst. The coastal trade has now gone bust, and like all great ships, like the Tutty Sark, there's nae mere puffers like the Vital Spark. Aye, the days of the coastal trade are done, and Parahandy's races run. If you want to ken more about the so-and-so, go and read the book that's wrote by Neil Munro. Parahandy was his name, Skipper o' a Puffer was his claim to fame. Humming a tune, sitting down by the Clyde, or talking a wee dram as he waits for the tide. Parahandy was his name, Skipper o' a Puffer was his claim to fame. Humming a tune, sitting down by the Clyde, or talking a wee dram as he waits for the tide. There we are. That was my tribute to one of my heroes. And that song and the next one, incidentally, I know that some people have already mentioned things like this. A wee plug for my album of all self-penned songs. That's on it. And luckily, I was lucky enough last year that Liz Clark, who was on in the audience earlier on, but I don't see her name anymore, she put it up as Celtic Music Radio's album of the week sometime last year. So that was great. And I'll have a wee sip. Just to stave off the scurvy, I've got some orange juice. This next song, in fact, will be my second and last song. Again, you got a wee hint earlier on from Jim Saville with his poetry, and Jim did his own poem, the Landlocked Shantyman, and this is actually a song of mine which is quite similar. It's called The Shantyman on Shore, and I don't know if any of you have been down to Govan Folk Festival. Well, it was started way back in the early days by one of the starters was a guy called Bobby Robb, who, as far as I know, never served at sea, but he was a great shantyman, and it's inspired by and dedicated to, but not about, Bobby Robb. Shantyman on Shore. His father used to read him books about the sea. When he learned the songs of the shantyman, his soul it was set free. He'd dream about the day that he would join the tall ship's crew, on deck or in the rigging, a sailor through and through. Salt water in his veins, his heart is sailed on every main, head full of sailors' lore. But he'll never sail to a foreign land as a skipper or deckhand. He's a shantyman on shore. He started in the boatyard the first day that he could, apprenticeship right working every day with tar and wood. He always meant to go to sea and live his sailor's dream, but he never set a foot on deck to a life of sail or steam. Salt water in his veins, his heart is sailed on every main, head full of sailors' lore. But he never sailed to a foreign land as a skipper or deckhand. He's a shantyman on shore. Now he has all the fishing grounds marked upon a chart, but he never has to look at it. He knows them all by heart, and he listens to the shipping forecast on the radio, and he thinks about the sailors and places they would go. Salt water in his veins, his heart is sailed on every main. Head full of sailors low, but he'll never sail to a foreign land as a skipper or deckhand. He's a shanty man on shore. Ribbon Ranzo shallow brown and Shenandoah. Johnny's gone to high-low and the hills of Idaho. He'll sing folksole songs for bitters and all the rest, but the shanties, the work songs, that's the ones he loves the best. Salt water in his veins, his heart is sailed on every main. Head full of sailors low, but he'll never sail to a foreign land as a skipper or deckhand. He's a shanty man on shore. Now he dreams about seafaring and a life before the mast, but it seems that in a heartbeat most of his has passed. He missed the boat more ways than one, and now he's growing old, but still he dreams of the Spanish Main and chests of pirate gold. Salt water in his veins, his heart is sailed on every main. Head full of sailors low, but he'll never sail to a foreign land as a skipper or deckhand. He's a shanty man on shore. No, he'll never sail to a foreign land as a skipper or deckhand. He's a shanty man on shore. He's a shanty man on shore. Thank you very much, everybody. Night, thoroughly enjoying it.
Thanks, Alan. That was wonderful. Fantastic songs. Fantastic songs. Thank you so much. Good stuff. One more time, please. Let's show some appreciation for Alan here. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And we're almost back on schedule. Our next act tonight is Silver Darlings. Can the Silver Darlings please identify themselves? Is that you down there? You're looking a bit sideways, guys. You might need to unmute yourselves. I think you may be muted at present.
There we go. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can. However, I fear you may be sideways. And I mean, it's fine for me, but you know, like...
We're sideways.
Upside down. It's just
Silver
like
Darlings coming to us all the way from Australia there.
Funnily enough, we will be singing South Australia.
There we go. That's looking a lot better. Thank you.
We're still slightly
wonderful, wonderful. So, where are you? Where are you guys joining us from? Tell us again. Tell us again.
We're in Southend in Essex.
Southend, fantastic.
Southend.
Southend. Right, well, I'll leave it to yourselves to introduce yourselves. So, but thanks for joining us, guys. Thank you so much.
We need to turn us down, don't we? Turn this down. There we go.
Okay, so we're the Silver Darlings from Southend-on-Sea in Essex, just outside this window. The Thames Estuary is lapping at our shores. We've got two songs for you tonight. First one, not a shanty, but we hope you enjoy it. This is called My Johnny Was a Shoemaker. My Johnny was a shoemaker, and dearly he loved me. My Johnny was a shoemaker, but now he's gone to sea with Mitch and Tartus on his hands, and to sail across the sea, stormy sea, and sail across the stormy sea. My Johnny was a shoemaker, and dearly he loved me. My Johnny was a shoemaker, but now he's gone to sea with pitch and Tartus on his hands, and to sail across the sea, stormy sea, and sail across the stormy sea. His jacket was a deep sky blue, and curly was his hair. His jacket was a deep sky blue, it was, I do declare, for to reef the topsail up against the mast, and to sail across the sea, stormy sea, and sail across the stormy sea. Someday he'll be a captain bold, with a brave and a gallant crew. Someday he'll be a captain bold, with a sword and a spyglass too. And when he has his gallant captain's sword, he'll come home and marry me. Marry me. He'll come home and marry me. And when I am the captain's wife, I shall sing the whole day long. Yes, when I am the captain's wife, and this shall be my song. May peace and plenty bless our days, with little ones upon my knee, on my knee. My Johnny was a shoemaker. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, here is Corkhead Darling, fresh from the Isle of Wight, to sing our second song. It's funny that it should be upside down at the beginning, because this is South Australia. In South Australia I was born. Lead away, all away. South Australia round the Cape Horn. And we're bound for South Australia. All away, you rolling kings, heave away, all away, you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia. South Australia, I was born. Heave away, all away. South Australia, round the Cape Horn. Bound for South Australia. I rocked up one morning fair. Heave away, all away. There I saw Miss Nancy Blair. Bound for South Australia. Let's go! All away, you rolling kings. Heave away, all away. All away, you'll hear me sing. Bound for South Australia. Shook her up and I shook her down. Heave away, all away. Shook her all around the town. Bound for South Australia. Run her all night and I run her all day. Heave away, all away. Run her all around till we sail. Bound for South Australia. Let's go! All away, you rolling kings. Heave away, all away. All away, you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia. Nothing that does grieve my mind. Heave away, all away. To leave my Nancy Blair behind. Bound for South Australia. We wallop around Cape Horn. Heave away, all away. Yo!
wish to Christ you'd never been born. Down to South Australia. Let's go! All away, you rolling kings, heave away, all away. All the way, you'll hear me sing. We're bound to South Australia. South Australia, my native land. Heave away, all away. Full of rocks and thieves and fleas and sand. Bound to South Australia. I wish I was on Australia's strand. Heave away, all away. A bottle of whiskey, oh yeah! Bound to South Australia. Let's go! All the way, you rolling kings. Heave away, all away. All the way, you'll hear me sing. We're bound to South Australia. Again. All the way, you rolling kings, heave away. All the way, you'll hear me sing. Bound for South Australia. Woo! Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Silver Darlings. That was great, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, come on, one more time, folks. Silver Darlings, come on.
Very much.
Very good, very good, very good. Fantastic. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Amazing. Can I just give a special mention for Richard Banner, if he's still there. Richard, are you there? Can you show us your T-shirt? Richard, show us your T-shirt, please. Come on, everybody. Stay home. Sing shanties, save lives. Yes. Amazing. 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 Fantastic. Wonderful. Wonderful. Great stuff. Great stuff. Thank you once again to the Silver Darlings for a wonderful performance. And our headline main act tonight, Kimber's Men, the Kimber's Men, who I think are getting ready or warming up. They're getting it together.
La 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 la.
La 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 la.
Yeah, but can you see us yet?
So we've got, no, we can't see. You need to switch on the video, lads. So we've got John Bromley, we've got Neil Kimber.
It says your host has stopped.
We've got Gareth Scott. Oh, hold on. Host has stopped.
My video.
Wait a minute. Asked to start video there. Try that. There we go. So we've got John, we've got Neil, we've got Gareth, and we've got Steve. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Well, over to you guys. Over to you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll give you the floor. Thanks, lads. Tell us where you are and what you're doing.
Steve's moving the camera at the moment. That's what he does.
We're just going to sing.
Yeah. Hey, good evening. We're here from Todmorden in Calderdale in West Yorkshire, and we're Kimber's Men. Steve, Neil, Gareth, John. Oh, John's lost his pin now. Huh?
Oh, tell me, Mr. Stephen, and how do you still you cargo? Where sing sunny door. Oh, tell me, Mr. Stephen, and how do you still you cargo? Bound down Trinidad to look for sunny door. Double streamy volley boys and burden in the archway. Where sing sunny door. Double streamy volley boys and burden in the archway. Bound down Trinidad to look for sunny door. Oh, Trinidad, you pretty little harbour. Where sing sunny door. Oh, Trinidad, you pretty little harbour. Bound down Trinidad to look for sunny door. And if you see old sunny door, if ever you should find her, where sing sunny door. A roller in the grass, be legend down among the clover. Bound down Trinidad to look for sunny door. And tell me, Mr. Barber, and how do you shave your customers? Where sing sunny door. I take some man and noses and scrape them neath the chimney, oh. Bound down Trinidad to look for sunny door. The mate's all right, the crew is tight, the old man he's in clover. Where sings sunny dawn. The mate all right, the crew is tight, the old man eating clover. Bound down Trinidad to look for sunny dawn. When Satchel up, she's high enough, the end is now inside, boys. Where sings sunny dawn. When Satchel up, she's high enough, the end is now inside, boys. Bound down Trinidad to look for sunny dawn. And tell them, Mr. Stephen, and how you stole your cargo. Where sings sunny dawn. Oh, tell me, Mr. Stevedore, and how you stole your cargo. Bound down Trinidad to look for sunny dawn. Double tree, holy poison burden in the archway. Where sings sunny dawn. Double tree, holy poison burden in the archway. Bound down Trinidad to look for sunny dawn. Trinidad to look for sunny
This is last team again. Proving his worth down the way. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Glaswegians anyway.
Yeah, as we are.
As we are.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
You ready to be cold? Cold is the Arctic sea.
Sorry, lads, I think you're muted. Can you unmute yourselves?
Wonderful combination of hitting teams on the break. A magnificent pass from Bruno. The weight of the pass to Bruno.
That message was for Kimber's men, not for the football commentary. Thank you.
Sits then.
Kimber's men, lads, you're muted, I'm afraid. Can you unmute yourselves, please? Thank you. Kimber's men, guys, you're muted at the moment. Can you unmute yourselves? Sorry about this.
Hey ho! You should be able to do it, hosts, surely.
Not if they muted themselves, unfortunately. Zoom won't allow you to do that. I don't know what happened here.
Yeah, Kimber's men, guys, you need to unmute yourselves. You're muted at the moment. Sorry about this. I think that's used. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience. Thank you.
It's all right. Is it all working for us now?
We can hear you. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Kimber's men, thank you very much. Wonderful.
All right.
Right, everybody else mute. Stay muted. Or else.
Or else. Either. From where we left off.
Yeah.
When we
I'll start again.
Deep were the raging waves that tore our whalers' mast away. Dark are these lonely days, waiting for the ice to break. And cold is the Arctic Sea. Far are your arms from me. Long will this winter be, frozen in Frobisher Bay. Frozen in Frobisher Bay. Strange is the whaler's fate, to be saved from the raging waves, only to waste away
frozen in this lonely grave, and cold is the Arctic Sea. Far are your arms from me, long will this winter be, frozen in Frobisher Bay, frozen in Frobisher
Cheers. Is everything going okay? Can you see us and hear us?
Yes.
Yes. Wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful.
Very good.
All right then. See.
There was a fair maiden who lived all alone.
She lived all alone on the shore. Oh,
There was naught she could find for to comfort her mind,
but to roam all alone on the shore, shore, shore. But to roam all alone on the shore.
Well, it's overboard captain who sailed the salt sea.
Let the wind blow high and blow low.
I will die, that poor captain did cry.
If I don't have that maid on the shore, shore, shore. If I don't have that maid on the shore.
Well, I have lots of silver, I have lots of gold.
I have lots of costly wares.
I'll divide with me jolly ship's crew.
If you roll me that maid on the shore, shore, shore. If you roll me that maid on the shore.
And so after persuasion they got her on board.
Let the wind blow high and blow low.
She's so pretty and sweet, she's so neat and complete.
She sung captains and sailors to sleep, sleep, sleep. She sung captains and sailors to sleep.
And then robbed them of silver and robbed them of gold.
She robbed them of costly wares.
And then took his broadsword instead of an oar.
And then paddled away to the shore, shore, shore. And then paddled away to the shore.
Well, were my men crazy or were my men drunk?
Oh, were my men deep in despair, oh,
or to let you away from me cabin so gay,
and to paddle your way to the shore, 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 and to paddle your way to the shore.
Well, your men were not crazy, your men were not drunk,
your men were not deep in despair, oh,
I deluded them all as well as yourself.
I'm a maiden again on the shore, shore, shore. I'm a maiden again on the shore.
Well, it's of a fair maiden who lived all alone.
She lived all alone on the shore.
There was naught she could find for to comfort her mind,
but to roam all alone on the shore, shore, shore. But to roam all alone on the shore.
Made on the shore. Is it after closing time?
Oh, yeah.
It is in England.
Pass the water. Oh,
yeah. Everybody's been kicked out. Everybody's been kicked out. That means we might have a bit more audience.
Can you still drink till 11 o'clock in Scotland?
You can drink till you fall over.
As long as you fall before 10 o'clock.
Great. Okay, this is the Song by the Bells from
from Canada, west coast of Canada. It's Banfield's John Bandon. Naughty boy. Yeah. I come from the mud and the wind and wet, from as far to the west as a man can get. And I worked those waters for all my years, and I got my share of triumph and tears. And the ocean the source of my hopes and fears. Keep an eye on the jig, a pole hand on the gap, and a smiley on the line always brought to land. She's the pride of the coast, biggest of the springs. We would carry her home past Edward King, unloading at the packers and the money would ring. And Banfield's John Bandon. And you might slip and stumble on the rocks at the shore and exult in the blast of the mighty waves roar. But when you stand humbled by the ocean's door, then you'll understand just who I am, Banfield's Johnny Bandon. Fair weather is the mast that the devil dons, a disguise for the tempest that's coming on. When I look to the west, I can always tell by the tint of the sky and the strength of the swell, who's winning today, is it heaven or hell? And when unseen loves rule from the ring gales, we risk our souls on the telegraph trail. When the listing wrecks needed us the most, we slip past death on the graveyard coast. But the ocean remembers, so we never did boast. And Banfield's John Bandon. And you might slip and stumble on the rocks at the shore and exult in the blast of the mighty waves roar. But when you stand humbled by the ocean's door, then you'll understand just who I am, Banfield's Johnny Bandon. I've rolled and trolled the man's will warn in God's vindictive southeast storm. Till the whole of the ship was she ripped and groaned, but there is one thrill I've never known. There's the love of a woman I can call my own. But your questions of romance don't ask me. I'm the man who went the Pacific Sea. Tempestuous though it may have been, I'm a faithful to you've never seen. She's kept me wise and fit and lean, and Banfield's John Bandon. And you might slip and stumble on the rocks at the shore and exult in the blast of the mighty waves roar. But when you stand humbled by the ocean's door, then you'll understand just who I am, Banfield's Johnny Bandon. Banfield's John Bandon.
What's this one called?
Back to a proper
shot. Tacuano girls. Well, I've been a sea cook and I've been a clipper man. I can dance, I can sing, I can walk a ship boom. I can handle a harpoon and cut a fine figure. Whenever I get in a good standing room, and we'll rant and we'll roar like true born young well bred. We'll rant and we'll roar under Govan until we see bottom inside the two sinkers, and straight up the channel to Wesco we'll go. I was in Santiana last year on a whaler, and I bought some gold brooches for the girls in the bay. I bought me a clay pipe, they called it a meerschaum, but it melted like butter on a hot, shiny day, and we'll rant and we'll roar like through one young weatherman. We'll rant and we'll roar on deck or below until we see bottom inside the two sinkers, and straight up the channel to Wesco we'll go. I went to a dance last year in Old Tom Bay. There were plenty of girls there as fine as you'd wish. There was one pretty maiden chewing tobacco, just like a young kitten chewing fresh fish, and we'll rant and we'll roar like the young weatherman. We'll rant and we'll roar on deck or below until we see bottom inside the two sinkers, and straight up the channel to Wesco we'll go. Here's a health to the girls of old Takiwano, and a health to the girls of far off my way. We'll drink and be merry and drown melancholy. I can't marry us all, or in choky I'd be, and we'll rant and we'll roar like true born young weathermen. We'll rant and we'll roar on deck or below until we see bottom inside the two sinkers, and straight up the channel to a Wesco we'll go.
Bravo. More. Wonderful stuff, guys.
It's been a lovely evening. Listen to everyone, actually.
Yeah, that's been really good.
Sally Brown, she's a girl for me, boys.
Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll.
Sally Brown, she's a girl for me, boys.
I'm a Sally Brown.
She's lovely up aloft and she's lovely down below, boys.
Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll.
She's lovely because she loves me, that's all I want to know, boys.
I'm a Sally Brown.
We're bound away, away down south, boys.
Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll.
We're down south with a boat in the mouth.
I'm a Sally Brown.
We're bound for Trinidad to see Sally Brown, boys.
Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll.
We're bound for Trinidad to pin the bleeding town, boys.
I'm a Sally Brown.
She's lovely on the foreyard and lovely on the main, boys.
Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll.
She's lovely in the summertime and lovely in the rain, boys.
I'm a Sally Brown.
Oh, Captain Baker, how do you stow your cargo?
Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll.
Some must go forward and some must go aft.
I'm a Sally Brown.
There's 40 fathom or more below, boys.
Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll.
There's 40 fathom, so Ebdons and flood, boys.
I'm a Sally Brown.
Way higher and up she rises.
Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll.
Way higher and the blocks are different sizes.
I'm a Sally Brown.
One more pull, that's the end of a hauling.
Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll.
One more pull, don't you hear the maid bawling?
I'm a Sally Brown. Woo!
Cheers.
Okay, we're doing a little bit quieter and slower now, but not much quieter. We don't really know how to sing quietly. We don't do quiet.
We can do gentle.
We can do gentle, but we don't do quiet. I dreamed a dream the other night. My old land, that's away my child. I dreamed a dream
Lowland, lowland, so away my joy. I saw my own true love. Lowland, my lowland, away. She came close by to my bedside. Lowland, lowlands away my joy. She came close by to my bedside. Lowland, my lowland, she made no sound, no word did say. Lowland, lowlands away my joy. Made no sound, no word did say. Lowland, my lowland, away. And then I knew my love was dead. Lowland, lowlands away my joy. Then I knew my love was dead. Lowland, my lowland, away. I dreamed a dream the other night. Lowlands, lowlands away my joy. I dreamed a dream the other night. Lowlands, my lowlands,
Terrific.
This is going to be our last song, is it? One more.
As you wish.
Your last but three.
Three?
Yeah, you've got another 3 years, make the most of it.
No, that's all right. Okay. All right. This is an Antipodean shanty.
From just south of Sheffield.
Yeah. Monkey's Fist know this one.
Right.
I got just tuning it in.
I don't know.
There,
There
was the ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Belly of Tea. The wind blew up about it down or below, my bully boys below.
Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow.
Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Before the boats had hit the water, the whale's tail came right up and caught her. All hands to the side, harpoon and porter when she went down below.
Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
No line was cut, no whale was freed, the captain's mind was not agreed, but he belonged to the whalerman's creed, she took that ship in tow.
Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
For 40 days or even more, the line went slack, then tight once more. Our boats were lost, they were all at four, but still that whale did go.
Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
As far as I've heard, the fight's still on, the line's not cut, no, the whale's not gone. The wellerman makes his irregular call to encourage the captain and crew and all.
Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we will take our leave and go.
Wonderful stuff, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was incredible. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's hear it one more time for Kimber's Men, please, folks. Come on, that was great.
You can't let them go yet, surely. You can't let them go.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. That was tremendous, absolutely tremendous. I'm going to pass back over to Mr. Tom Malone. Tom,
Thanks,
over to you.
Martin. It's up to me just to make some thank yous and pass you on to Harry in just a wee second. But as I say, one or two thank yous have to be made for what a fabulous night, for especially the talent, obviously. We had asked, we had made this evening especially free to attract as many people as possible. We've had a great response, and we've also had a great response to the other aspect of the thing. We were hoping to recompense some of the artists for their time, and we started up a Just Giving page. That's been on the chat window, and I urge you to have a look at that again and to give a little for the fantastic entertainment you've had tonight. I think times are hard for musicians just now, and this possibly will go some way to keeping that kind of music alive, and that's what we're after.
Bingo.
In terms of thank yous, I have to thank the Glasgow Shanty crew, as I'm beginning to call them. That comprises Stephen Wilson, who has done a fantastic job on our webpage. I urge you to visit our webpage, glasgowshanty.org.uk. Tons of things there, but one of them is a fantastic resource of shanties, which Stephen has compiled. So I really urge you to have a look at that. Another person I need to thank is Bridie O'Dowd, who has been a fantastic backstage presence throughout the whole process of organising this. I have to thank, obviously, Martin Graham for stepping in, as always, up to the mark with a great MCing. And the other MC I especially want to thank is Harry, who literally this could not have happened without, because he just not only a technical wizard, a musical wizard, a cool, calm voice in the midst of all of these horrible things that happen throughout any of these Zoom meetings. And I have to admit to at least being responsible for about 60% of all the these things, because my computer literacy is still at the ABC. So I thank Harry very, very much for that. And I'm going to pass on to Harry, because I'm hoping that he has a little treat in store to finish off the evening. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Tom. Well, yes. The theory is that Tom has invited Muldoon's Picnic to sing a closing song, which is a great honour. We still have 60%, I think, of Muldoon's Picnic around the place. But while we just assemble them, I'll just see if Martin has anything to say before we finish.
The only thing to say is to thanks and acknowledgement to Mr. Tom Malone, who has organised yet another successful, amazing, wonderful shanty festival, which has been tremendous and fantastic. And so listen, Tom, thank you so much. All credit to you for doing this. So folks, let's hear it for Tom, please. Come on.
It's Tom that really invented this whole idea. And
it's all Tom's fault.
Yeah, so if you hated this, you know where to send your hate mail. So he came up with the idea in the first place. It happened this time last year on this little ship, as I said, that Clyde built. And then it was due to happen in Oban, but Oban went online. That was in June. And then the same happened here. And it's quite fun in a way doing it online. I mean, obviously, it's not ideal. There's pros and cons. But thank you all for turning out and supporting it, as well as all the people we have in the Zoom meeting, which was booked out. So there should be anything up to 100 people that were here at some point. We also have a great following on the YouTube live stream. There's 31 watching now on YouTube, and that recording will remain there on the Glasgow Shanty Day channel, I think is the word. And I'm just going to post now the address of that in the what do you call it, in the chat. Here it is. I hope that is right there. So anyway, if you if you want to relive this amazing experience, or you missed a bit, or you're out making tea, then that's where to find it all. Right, well, stay home, sing shanties, save lives. Yes, let's do that, shall we? If we've said everything that needs to be said, let's sing a little song from Shetland. It's called the Sang o do Papa Men, and it's about the men of Papastur. And
they're still going.
Say this again, Maura?
It's not their barbecue place.
No, someone said something. Never mind. There is there was a rock formation, one of these natural archways at the very tip of a place called Papastur in Shetland. Unfortunately, it's hard to find a picture of it because it kind of fell into the sea in a storm in the 1950s. So it's not there anymore. But this poem was written by Vigeland, who is the sort of national poet of Shetland. And it's Katie that I should be introducing this, because I think it was you that discovered this song, was it not, Katie?
Can't remember. I can't remember. I'm happy for you to introduce it. What I would say, though, is I've had to obviously change my sound because we've not been performing for a bit. So if I could ask my fellow Muldoon's members, as I play the first chorus, because I have to let you into a secret. There are more people on this recording than there are in the room singing. So if you can give me a fingers up if it needs to go up and a fingers down if it needs to go down, that would be really helpful. Is that okay? Thank you. Please join in. It's got a very catchy chorus. Are you good to go?
No, I'm just. You mentioned the chorus. I'm just gonna post that as well, because Daisy was very keen that we should do that. So you can have the words in Shetlandic dialect, and by the time we've sung it a few times, maybe you'll get them. I can also post you the link after this of where we have that Fingal's Cave video on our YouTube channel. Ut bewast de horna papa, rowin fulla dun, aure hidden piece of water, rowin fulla dun, runda boot dat tijdlamps maken, sunlicht trouw de kluds is braken, we man gang for fishes taken, rowin fulla dun. Off you go, Katie.
Okay.
Ut bewast de smaken. Salig trouw de kluut is braken. We mon gang waar visjes taken. Rowen fulla doen. Fishy nods where boy taste truly. Name is for a nods. We hate house and bows and copies. Ballast did a shot. Pete's for fire, it had a kettle. Tatty's fed a pot. Ut bewaars de horn op papa, rowen fulla doen. Out ahead and peace of water, rowen fulla doen. Rund about the tide lamps maken, zonlicht trouw de kluut is braken. We mon gang wat visjes taken, rowen fulla doen.
Lekker las het hoden lachen, keurt het bij het voers. Papa sometimes lies in simmer, veiled we ask and shoes. Dan upon a wilsome word comes the scent of flowers.
Ut bewaars de horn op papa, rowen fulla doen. Out ahead and peace of water, rowen fulla doen. Rund about de tide lamps maken, zonlicht trouw de kluut is braken. We mon gang wat visjes taken, rowen fulla doen.
We can by the shore no longer, we man gang and try. We'll win back, boys, if we sootna scream the mother die. For the scent of Lourdes and Papa leads us so away.
Ut bewaars de horn op papa, rowen fulla doen. Out ahead and peace of water, rowen fulla doen. Rund about de tide lamps maken, zonlicht trouw de kluut is braken. We mon gang wat visjes taken, rowen fulla doen. Ut bewaars de horn op papa, rowen fulla doen. Out ahead and peace of water, rowen fulla doen. Rund about de tide lamps maken, zonlicht trouw de kluut is braken. We mon gang wat visjes taken, rowen fulla doen. Rowen fulla doen. Rowen fulla doen.
Well done, everyone. Thank you very much.
Well done, Harry.
Many thanks, Alan. Thank you. Kimber's men. Thank you. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Muldoon's Picnic. Fabulous. All the best. Here's Govan Hill Voices.
Hey!
Yeah, brilliant night.
Cheers, Trish. Many
Cheers.
thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a great evening. I've really enjoyed it.
Lovely, Moira. Thank you. All the best. Cheers.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
So we get through the list of everyone's performed. So we've had Russ Clare. Thank you to Russ.
Terrific. Yep.
Thank you to Muldoon. We've had Tim Saville. The mighty voice Neil. Mr. Stephen Clark.
Oh, wonderful, Stephen.
David Kidman. Govan Hill Voices.
Yeah, terrific. Terrific.
Monkey's Fist. Storytelling Dan. Storytelling Man. Alan Jones. Give us some wonderful songs. Thank you, Alan. We have Silver Darling.
Oh, yeah.
ROF and Safin. And then with the Kimber's Men. So thank you to everyone. Thank you. So when's the next one, Tom?
No.
We do this every month, Tom, do you think?
Tom, monthly, come on, we'll do the second round monthly. Thank you most of all to Tom Malone. Thank you, Tom, so much. Thank you. It's been a great night. And wonderful. All right. Cheers, folks. Go safely, go well, keep your eyes peeled. Stay home, sing shanty, stay safe.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night, everyone. Night.
Thanks a lot. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, Russ. Cheers.